So hey guys, just decided to make a video showing off what this build is all about. Basically just to explain a few things. So first things first, this build is a dominating blow marauder, making sure to get essentially on the best of 3 to get resolute technique so you can always hit. You will just need to tag it with a dominating blow and your minions will help actually kill stuff. This build does not use blood magic gem or blood magic at all of any source. That's why there is a lot of mana regeneration picked up on the tree, and also mana reduction on the spell cost. Wait, hang on, let's get rid of global, that's cancer anyway. The build also picks up increased duration clusters, the potency of will and exceptional performance, which is more or less essential. Then aura nodes, both sovereignty and leadership, and I'm making my way to charisma. The mana reduction, the reserve mana reduction comes into play later when you switch from purity of elements. You switch it out for haste, which will be more DPS, but that requires you have jewels with minion resistances. Until you get jewels with minion resistances, you will actually need purity of elements for your minions to survive, otherwise they will just get one shot. When you're leveling, you just go through the life and armor, use crown slam, pick up the pillar, which I will show in a moment, then head up to the Templar tree, grab all the mana reduction, go to near the Cyan, grab the mana reduction here, then start picking up the minion nodes. At around level 7, no, I mean maybe level 50 or something like that. I made the switch on level 55 when I just threw the Crown Slam gem away and picked up Dominating Blow gem. That's about the time when you start picking up all the minion nodes, like rest of the ones and the skill duration ones. As for what to make this build work, all you need is Pillar of the Gauge Guard. Pillar is an amazing weapon which will scale its DPS through the travel nodes, the strength nodes. Like here, these will give you the best DPS. There are a few other weird uniques that can help you level up faster, like Maginard's Wise, which will give a lot of strength, which will scale up the DPS even more. And so is Maginard's Girdle, but Maginard's Girdle is pretty damn expensive. Pillar itself costs like 1C or so, at least it costed for me, and I leveled with a 4-link for a long ass time. You can 5-link it later, honestly. So how does the build function? It's actually pretty simple. All you do is activate your 2 auras, Hatred and Purity of Elements. I'm more or less kept, well, more or less. You will need some sort of map, let's do mine.
What can I do for you, Exile?
And before we head into map, I'll explain the links. I'm using Bringer of Rain, which on the build guide is this is a transition item, as in you will use it for a while and then you throw it away once you get a like decent chest. Decent chest would be something with life and resists, preferably chaos resist actually, because the Warbands, besides the elemental damage, they seem to do a lot of chaos damage. And you would do it on an armor base because you need red gems on like almost everything. The main link is Dominating Blow, Melee Splash, Multi-Strike, Fortify. If you don't have Bringer of Rain, then take Fortify out and put melee physical damage on it instead. Which I'm leveling somewhere here. I'm actually on the offhand leveling one of the gems. Your zombies are linked to the Pillar, Melee Splash, Multi-Strike, Melee Fuse, Fortify, pretty cookie cutter. One of the 4 links, whether it's your boots or your gloves, that's up to you, is your cooldowns. Basically Wall Haste, Wall Grace, linked with increased duration and generosity. The increased duration from the gem and also from the tree will make the cooldowns last for a long time. 15 seconds in this game is a lot of time. Generosity will make them more effective on your minions, which will basically boost up your clear speed. I'm gonna tell you right now that the clear speed on Dominating Blow is pretty bad. It's barely mediocre. It's one of those skills you do because, well, you want to do it, as in my character name says, just because I can. The other forlink which you will be using is Rallying Cry and your other auras, Hatred and Purity of Elements, and I have also linked here Increased Duration, and Increased Duration is linked just for the Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry is absolutely amazing. As you can see, my mana regeneration is barely 53 or something, but the mana cost on Dominating Blow is 68, and this is 68 considering I have almost all, or maybe I even have all of the mana cost reductions on the passive tree. So Dominating Blow costs a lot of mana, and Rallying Cry gives you mana regeneration once you shout and go near somebody. So how this works is basically you run into the back, and while you're running into the back you just shout with the Rallying Cry. This will start your mana regeneration, which makes Dominating Blow usable, and then you just hold down right click and until you victory. So basically this goes Rallying Cry and we start doing. As you can see, this build what I have here is absolutely not tanky in any shape or form. The other thing to note with the Dominating Blow is that it's a steamroll of a skill, which means that it will be really slow in the beginning. As you can see, it takes me forever to kill the first few mobs, but once you have some minions it will get faster and faster and faster, and if I would actually remember to get zombies up, it would have been even better.
My mana is gone.
So, as you can see, once you get enough minions, stuff starts to die, and you start to flood the screen a lot. There's one thing I wanted to show you is that, as you can see, my mana regeneration is only 53, but because I have a lot of regen picked up in the tree, Rallying Cry pushes me nearly 100, which means Dominating Blow becomes basically sustainable. You can just hold on and you won't even care, and you have almost no mana regeneration or flat mana on the tree, so this is all based on base mana. The other thing to note is that all the mana cost reduction skills, they have maximum mana on the tree also bundled into them, so your base mana gets almost doubled. Maybe not doubled, but a little bit over half.
I cannot do this yet.
Then one other thing about Dominating Blow is that Dominating Blow basically makes a copy of the minion, so if the minion has any effects on it, they will get copied. So as you can see, this totem here will actually give me the substantial Fierce Aura. So you know, if other streamers talk about getting one shot by Roas with sub Fierce Aura, you can actually make that sub Fierce Aura benefit you. And those auras are really stupidly strong. You can get like the haste one, for example, which is absolutely a ridiculous amount of
I cannot do this yet.
speed. So here is a lot. Oh, actually, I'll show on the next part. So once you see a bigger pack you want to kill fast, and you want to make sure it dies, you just pop your cooldowns. Wall Grace, Wall Haste. Wall Grace makes the minions survivable. Wall Haste gets rid of all the rare mobs. It's one of those skillers, but I've gotten so used to using it on almost every pack, and for me it's almost a rotation skill by now. The one thing to note is that when you're partying up, Dominating Blow cannot dominate mobs that do not leave corpses. So there's two problems with that. One is that if you party up with anybody who has crit and you are providing hatred, which makes them basically shattered mobs, they will not leave a corpse behind. And when there's no corpse, you will not dominate. The other thing is the map mod, which makes the monster spawn with beyond the mods.
I cannot do this yet.
When beyond mobs, when they die, they simply explode, so they don't leave any corpse at all, which is a really big problem because that means you cannot dominate it. So that's about it. Dominating Blow, that's how it works. Once you get enough minions, you just steamroll. And the beauty of the skill is that basically the more you have, the higher or tougher and stronger the mobs you dominate, the easier it will get.
My mana is gone.
When you get
I cannot do this yet.
So when you dominate like really strong rares and stuff, they will copy all their stats and buffs and effects. So something that says resists lightning and cold on the top in the name, they will get that bonus as well. Or even things like reflect, storm heralds, order of the frozen sky gets copied. So you actually can get your mobs who will have the similar effect to the staff of whispering ice or something like that. And it can be a really powerful clearer. So, but like I said, the problem is when the mobs don't leave any corpse behind, like when they get shattered or when you're dealing with beyond. So this rules out one map mode, and the other thing is that you have to party with somebody who is not physical crit based. So an easy thing to consider is, for example, you party up with incinerators, flame totem users, which are very popular right now, and you basically amplify the damage. It gets even better when somebody in your party runs haste or anger, wrath, things like those. So this is a boss, and this is about as fast as you can kill a boss. There, done, boss done. And that's about it. I'm not gonna clear this map because I don't care about low maps anymore. And that's about the whole build. I'm currently level 77, I am under almost no life whatsoever. The eventual goal is to use one of these things, Belly of the Beast, for me at least. This would push over your life over 4000, grab another life nodes here after finishing off the cluster, and then a little bit of life regeneration with a jewel socket here and another jewel socket here, and that's quite high level already. I think that would make the character level 85 or something, so I'm not going to plan any further than that. The only reason I'm playing this build is just to reach level 82 with another character. Other things is that this build is definitely not hardcore viable. In order to make this build hardcore viable, you need to figure out how to get more defensive stats. This is as squishy as it gets. You have a little bit of armor, which is like almost no physical mitigation at all. Most of your mitigation comes from Fortify support gem, honestly. So if you're not hitting something, so if you're like dodging some weird boss skills, your Fortify will run out, and after that you will get one shot. In fact, it will be as bad as about that bad. So this build, hardcore, no. Just no. It will not work in hardcore, not in this form. The other thing to note is that all this Marauder section can actually be skipped and started as a Zion and come through this life regeneration start here. This will save a lot of points, and for those points few things can be picked up. You can come up to the Zion tree, grab more minion damage here, and the life clusters with the resistance is making gearing a lot easier. The other thing is that instead you can grab some resistance nodes here, get another jewel socket, and you can get life nodes here. That's just an option, something to consider. Flask, get at least one flask of animation, and that's about it. You hit fast, you hit really fast, so get at least something with bleeding removal against corrupting mobs, and that's about it. The Marauder start, which gives you all the armor, this pretty much makes Granite Flask more effective, so it's something to consider. Another good nodes are the combat stamina cluster here. Unyielding is absolutely amazing thing to consider if you really want to make this hardcore build. And since this is a pillar build, you can grab the staff one nodes here, because they also give you a lot of armor, like 40% for 3 nodes plus the damage. Even though the damage is less than what you would get for picking something like a might node with pillar, like the 30 strength node, it's like the combined effect will be greater for grabbing those. Same for Battle of the Warrior. Once you finish the Zion or Yield, this gives a lot of DPS actually, because the 20 strength is worth like another 36 points and increased physical damage, so it becomes like 48% physical damage or something like that. As for gearing, all you need is armor, life, and resistances. if you can find somewhere, I don't have, but the uniques have, like the Bringer of Rain and Maginot's Belt, they have flat physical damage. If you can get flat physical, just get it. It will help a lot, because as you can see, Dominant Move has like almost no DPS on its own. You, for higher level maps, you really need to grab those zombies. Otherwise, you won't make the first kill to get the steamroll effect going. And that's about it. That's pretty much the build explained in a nutshell. Oh, one thing more is Atsiri's Foible. This amulet is absolutely amazing because it gives you both maximum mana and mana regeneration and flat mana. So this makes sustaining a lot easier. You can pick it up really early and it's just like all around good item. So if I would say there's two quote-unquote mandatory things to get for this build, it's Pillar itself and that series Foible. That's about it. Everything else, just get what you get, and that's about it. Just figure out on your own what gives you more DPS, what gives you less DPS, and so on. And yeah, if you have any questions, post on the comment in the YouTube or in the forum thread. Peace.